Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Here we go. Happy Tuesday. It is KVJ After the Show podcast.
Happy Tuesday. We're almost to hump day.
We getting any sunshine out there yet?
No.
It's kind of crazy earlier today because we had continued rain going on, and we're talking about all the rain that has happened with that tropical storm that went through here and just how much Broward got, 14 inches in some places in just 24 hours.
When you were talking about the rain we got, I got a text from Fort Lauderdale said they weren't getting it. So when we were getting it, they weren't today.
Here's a shot of blue skies in Fort Lauderdale.
That's
Somebody had sent
good.
That in. Yeah, we got that. Thank you to Nathan, who took a shot of the sky. Looked beautiful in Fort Lauderdale.
You never want anybody who's already dealing with flooding to then on top of that be getting more rain, and we don't wish that for you, Fort Lauderdale.
South Florida's just so weird how radically different the weather can be from one town to the next or one street to the next.
You could have stopped by just saying South Florida's so weird.
It is, yeah. About everything.
No, it is.
Weather people.
The locals.
Yeah.
I can tell just by the way people in other parts of the country talk about our area, and we are weird. We're weird, man. Mm-hmm. The locals, I caught that dig. The locals.
Kevin was trying to dig on weather people, and I stepped on his dig to dig on you. But let's go back to weather people.
Just a lot of weirdness. So thank you very much for that update. Got this from an FHP dispatcher on yesterday's regular show. During the Call 'em Out segment, you read an email from Keith about the whole fast lane, left lane, passing lane issue. I am a dispatcher, and I can tell you that Keith nailed it yesterday. We get, and I'm not overreacting, hundreds of these calls a week where some idiot in the left lane calling 911 saying they're on the highway and screaming, "OMG, someone is following me," or "I don't understand why this person is tailgating me. I'm so scared." My personal favorite is the jerks that actually know it's the fast lane but say, "I'm already going 2 miles per hour over the speed limit. Why should I move out of the lane?"
There are some people that were never taught that the left lane is for fast traffic and passing. I know one of them really well, and I had to tell this person that's how it is.
Shame them. What's their name?
They never figured it out just watching?
They never
driving?
figured it out.
How is that possible?
Until they were, I would say, 39.
I don't even know
40.
how that's possible.
Dox them. What's their address?
No, because they live in my house.
Panda.
But doesn't just like seeing the road?
No one ever told him, and he didn't know. And I was like, babe.
Really?
He just thought people were rude and driving up on his tail when we were going to New Orleans on a road trip. I'm like, you know the left lane is for passing and going fast, right?
Dox his ass.
Yeah.
I just think he had poor instruction. Whoever taught him how to drive did him a nasty.
Yeah. Wow. How about that, huh?
That is something that you must teach your children because not all people are teaching it.
My dad, the most important thing my dad ever taught me, always check your blind spot. I can't tell you how many times I've almost died. I would have about been dead if I didn't check my blind spot.
Your dad's right.
Mm-hmm. Those driving tips. Yeah, that's what it is. Dad's got to teach your kids.
And if you have a terrible driver teaching you, then yeah, you get what you get.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, pretty interesting stuff. When the callers tell us someone is harassing them out of nowhere, 9 out of 10 times is because they're going 60 in the passing lane for 6 miles. When people claim they are being followed, I always ask them, are you in the fast or slow lane? And they say, I'm in the left lane, meaning they have no clue.
Left lane is the fast lane, you asshole. The problem is you.
Wow.
So you're kind of, in a sense, you're kind of calling Panda an asshole right now. From a certain point of view.
I'm calling the people that call 911 an asshole. If you call 911 to say somebody is tailgating you and you're in the left lane going at or below the speed limit, you're an asshole.
That is fascinating that people, really don't.
They don't know.
know.
There are people that don't know.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
That's mind-boggling to me.
I don't think it is as widely discussed as it should be, especially now if you have a driver from a foreign country coming here and then learns the ways of our road and then is on our roads driving. Like, I've seen that a lot where I've been in an Uber car with a guy who's not from here and he doesn't have a fucking clue that the left lane is for passing and going fast.
I always felt like I'd be a better driver in Europe.
You do.
I don't know. They go on the other side of the
road.
road.
I feel
bro.
like I'm always on the other side of the road, just in life.
They do it in the Bahamas too, and it's weird, and I can't.
But it's just like if you had chocolate-covered lizards your entire life, you wouldn't think that's weird growing up. I'm just saying, you know what you grow up with. This thing on?
Chocolate-covered
Did
lizards.
I lose you with chocolate-covered
No
lizards?
one would ever eat a chocolate-covered lizard, right?
Bullshit. I'm sending you literature as we speak.
Sounds delicious.
Chocolate-covered lizard.
Anyway, it says, yeah, dispatch will say, can you move to the right lane for me and drop down your speed safely? The harasser miraculously speeds off into the sunset. They aren't chasing you, ding-dong. They want you to get out of the effing way. Love all dispatchers. Fascinating.
That is hilarious and not surprising.
Wow.
People don't know. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I guess they don't. Crazy.
Spread the word. If you're out there, especially if you're teaching a young person how to drive,
Yeah.
let's try to get this message out there.
Teach about that blind spot.
Yeah. Get on that.
Chocolate lizards.
And livers. Chocolate livers.
I can't find any literature. I have to keep
There's
digging.
no chocolate
I guess
lizards?
not.
You made it up?
No, well, there are chocolate lizards, but they're really there's chocolate lizards. They're not lizards. So technically, I'm not lying. It's just not really a lizard.
It's a candy.
It's a candy.
Your boy Jay used to be your athletic director at Gardens. He sent an email back about that, and he said, yeah, I caught today's ATS podcast. Please tell Jay Bird that the rumor that I didn't like his foul language while coaching was not true.
Oh.
If it happened, and I guess it did, as he admits it, I was not aware of it, although if I had been aware, I would not have found it acceptable.
Okay.
He wouldn't have. But yeah, it's
But he
awesome.
didn't know. It was a rumor.
That's crazy that my old athletic director's emailing our show.
And is now teaching Magnolia.
That's insane. Jay, really, really nice guy.
And he wanted to get your thoughts on some things for the Palm Beach Gardens Sports Hall of Fame. I don't think he's asking you to be in it. I think he's asking you to maybe help him. But
I don't deserve to be in it. But I'll tell you who does deserve to be in it, my boy Bigfoot. Jim Romano hit 500. I know that doesn't mean dick to you, Virginia, but he hit 500 his senior year. That's something that doesn't happen that often, especially with that kind of high baseball. So Bigfoot could be nominated in for the Palm Beach Gardens Hall of Fame.
get a hold of your boy Jay. He'd love to hear about
Well,
it.
I think we got a rapport going here.
Where are we going to build this complex?
The Hall of Fame? I don't know. I am slightly hurt that there's some numbers on the Palm Beach Gardens dugout where I played baseball, and my jersey's not up there. Like, fuck, man, I just wasn't good enough.
Stephanie said that in the chat room, or I think it's Facebook, she said they don't even let women drive in the Bahamas. What? No, that's not true, is it?
There's been a lot of false shit said on this podcast today.
Well,
I
just a lot of-
don't know about that. I mean, I've never driven, but I've
There's
always
no
been
way.
driven by a dude, so I can't say yay or nay.
Yeah, and Walt Disney's parents died, remember? I'm just saying, we've been duped a lot today.
People like to tell us stuff that's not true just to see if we'll believe it.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to find that out. That doesn't
I could
feel
probably
right.
find that out pretty
Yeah, the
quick.
chat room should know that, too. Chat room, what the fuck? Where are you at?
Are women allowed to drive in the Bahamas?
Chat room, please. Who wins? Does Virginia find the answer first, or does our chat room give it to us?
Definitely chat room.
Not true. I was in the Bahamas a year ago with an awesome female taxi driver.
Well, then there you go.
But that's a period Ann in the chat room. Can we trust her? I don't fucking know.
There are some stories, though, if you look in that, about women's rights in the Bahamas. One about if women were permitted to vote as men were allowed to. There's one story here from 2009 on something. So I wonder if there are different standards on some things there for men and women in the Bahamas.
Well, we don't like to hear that.
But make no mistakes, the chat room beat Virginia at getting our factoids, Kevin.
I have to still go over to the Bahamas. We still have about somewhere in the neighborhood of $26,000 left from the KVJ Great 48 to spend in the Bahamas. We've got to go over there and we've got to check out how the improvements to the elementary school that we did are looking.
Yeah.
How the improvements to the 3 homes that we helped out are looking. And then, figure out where there is still some need to spend the rest of that money because we haven't been able to go over there. There's been a travel ban. We tried several times. Actually, Captain Vince tried to sneak us over there, but he wasn't able to make it happen. It's illegal right now.
Well, as long as you can't drive, we're cool.
Right.
I don't want to drive. I never want to drive. If I can be driven everywhere, that'd be great.
I would hate to drive in a foreign land where I don't know where I barely can handle clematis.
In the Bahamas, they use the honk for a different thing. They don't use it to say, get out of the way like we use it here. They use it to be sweet. So everybody's always honking at each other saying hi.
Well, I try to do sweet honks to people, although I think it is interpreted that I am being an asshole.
Every honk here is a dick honk.
Not really. You can
donk.
You can go really quick, and it's kind of like, oh, hey.
No, you're just a little dick.
No, hey.
You're just a tiny penis.
Beep, hey.
Small pecker.
Well, yeah, everyone knows that, bro. It's 2020.
You're just a tiny honk just means you're a tiny dick.
Do you disagree with that, Kev? Is every honk in America an asshole honk?
It's asshole light. It feels like it. Yeah, it's still like
it's
okay,
not
thanks.
friendly like the Bahamas. Over there, they are doing it from love. And, hey, how are you? Good to see you.
But what if I do this? I go, honk, blow it a kiss. Hey, I think you're cool. No?
Do you know the person?
Not always.
I think you have to know them. They have to understand and know how to interpret you.
Yeah, because then you're just like
a madman.
Yeah.
Some weirdo just honked at me and blew me kisses, Mom.
He was dressed like a 70s tennis player. It
Call
was weird.
911.
Yeah.
I belong in South Florida.
You belong in a mental hospital.
It doesn't sound that
South
bad
Florida.
to me.
Yep, the South Florida Mental Hospital would actually be perfect.
It doesn't sound that bad.
Relaxing.
It does, man.
Yeah.
3 square meals.
Yeah.
Probably some kind of jacuzzi there.
Probably
Yeah.
drugs. They probably want to give you a little bit. Calm your ass down.
Yeah.
I don't need to be calmed down. I need to be fucking revved up.
Fired up, huh?
That's right, baby.
Fired up. Let me see. Also got an interesting email here from Denise. Said I'm behind in the podcast, but I heard you guys talking about Shaquille O'Neal's peen, and there is a video vixen by the name of Corinne Stevens, and she wrote a book and talked about all the guys that she'd slept with in the NBA, and she said, surprisingly, Shaquille O'Neal has a very small penis considering his height and size.
I don't believe any of that kind of fodder when someone's trying to do a book and trying to throw everyone through the mud. How do we know that's real? You know what I mean?
But she says other guys are, he's good, he's great. Not so much.
I'm sorry. You cannot look at Shaquille O'Neal and tell me he has anything but a giant donkey dong.
Well, she said for his size, okay, that could be, he could have a 17-inch dick. For his size.
Yeah, he's got a massive shoe. Even if his dick is a quarter of his shoe, he could still knock you over.
Oh yeah, he could take it to the paint, as they say in the
That's what they call
biz.
it. Got that thing painted up. Yeah, interesting. Well, I don't know. I know there's, we talked about that before. There's a lot of those rumors that are out there. People have slept with celebrities, and then how tough would that be? They go running right to some kind of tabloid or...
They do it all the time.
Every time.
And they talk very intimate details.
You can never hook up without worrying,
Not if you got a small dong. If you're a celebrity with a small dong, you just gotta remain a mystery.
Or you know what you do?
can't.
You say, fuck it. I got a small dong, baby, and I'm okay with that because I am a WH. Workhorse.
Yeah, I guess if you do it well enough, they may say he's great in bed, but he has a real small peen.
Well, sometimes I've heard before too. Big dick fuckers are not always the best lovers. They're all brawn and no brain, so to speak.
In your experience.
All right. It's just kind of, it's what you know.
This is what I hear on the street. Yeah,
I'm thinking you would want the tiniest dick in the game.
I would.
If you had to be
I would.
laid out.
If I had to.
You're cheering for a small dick man to come through the door.
But aren't there some girls who would be like that too? Be like,
yes.
I don't want anything to.
I've heard girls complain it sometimes. If it's too big, it's too painful. Then you have on top of that someone who doesn't know how to work that noodle. Got to work that noodle.
Virginia's very quiet.
Haven't close to the weekend yet.
I'm just listening. I'm drinking it in. I'm drinking in your dick talk.
It's dick talk with one guy talking to himself. I don't know if it's entertaining.
Oh, I am loving it. I'm actually tickled.
Yeah, it's a podcast. A guy sits there, he talks about his dick, and that's really it. Two people just sit there and listen to him.
He talks about
weirdest
dicks
thing, yeah.
and food a lot. It's a weird podcast. Not many people going for that genre.
It's odd. I don't know what you categorize that as. But
You don't.
yeah. Okay. Let me see a couple other things going on here. They say that nearly half of happiness is genetic. Researchers found that genetic influences about 30 to 40% of the variation in overall happiness, but they do say that having joyous DNA doesn't promise people a content-filled life. They say that it is completely possible to rewire our brains for happiness, and to do that, they say to try to focus energy on volunteering, laughing, feeling grateful, and eating well. Those 4 points can rewire your DNA. But how odd is that you may be genetically predispositioned for more happiness than somebody else, and somebody might have to work harder to be happy?
I totally believe this.
I believe that too. Well, you see it in physical stuff. Why wouldn't you see it in mental stuff?
I see it in my family. I totally believe this.
I do too, only because my family's got a lot of mental health issues, and you do see it. You see it for some reason in more other people that grew up in the same kind of household. So it's very fascinating.
So there's a gene that could make you unhappy. You can undo it, but you probably have to work harder to
It takes work.
Yeah, it's harder for some people to be happier than others.
It becomes cumbersome, I think, to some people, too, because they're trying so hard to be happy, but they're fighting their DNA that's telling them to be sad.
Yeah, no,
it's really fucked up.
You're right, and I think to Kevin's point, some people do got to work harder to be happy.
And that's when your ass needs to march right to the doctor and say, let's get a little pharmaceutical assistance.
I would disagree with that because that's not for everybody. I'm one of those
people. For some people it is.
For some people, yeah, but I would be a candidate for people that would want to put me on pills. I've been on pills before. It was the worst thing in my life, and I'm only speaking on my own personal experience. I was not facing up to what I needed to face. I wasn't working on the things I needed to work. A lot of it was me being a baby. I'm not saying that about other people. I'm saying that for me. I thought a pill could just fix it. That ain't the truth for a lot of times.
But for a lot of people it is. I don't think you have severe mental illness. I don't think you're in that category. I don't think you have severe depression like the people that I'm thinking of that I know in my circle. There are people that severely needed medication because they were going to be really messing up their lives if they didn't get it. From sadness.
I hear completely what you're saying, and I think that's true for some people. I just think we live in a time where we get pills thrown at us to get instant gratification, instant happiness.
I love
and
pills.
And it just doesn't work that way. You may feel high. You may feel great.
No.
You may text a bunch of fucking people you don't want to text and then wake up in the morning with regret.
I'm talking about for bipolar and depression
I am
specifically.
Too.
That's what I have experience with. And I've watched people in my family almost lose everything. And then they go on the meds, and now all of a sudden their lives are coming back together.
I don't want people getting it twisted thinking I'm completely against that. I just think you got to really look at your situation, and you also have to do work sometimes.
You're not as extreme as some of the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that were on the edge of losing everything, and medication has saved their lives, multiple people.
Well, I would think if you're going to do it, if I was ever in that situation, because I've seen some stories and they talk about some radical things that they had wrong with them, and they changed their diet, They got their sleep right. They did a lot of the things that they started doing. They started meditating. They started getting out into nature.
Yes.
They started talking to a therapist about their real world problems that were getting them depressed and came up with solution-based ways to handle or maybe reframe those problems or talk through or resolve those problems. Volunteering, laughing, feeling grateful, eating well. Those are the 4 points they get. To me, before I went on the medication, I'd be curious how many cases could be resolved without having to go to the medication.
That's exactly what my 10-minute rant was about. Just what you just said right there. All I would ask is, do you know in your heart and in your spirit, have you done everything you could to, like you're just saying, are you walking in nature? Are you meditating? Are you doing, what are you doing to help yourself get to that point?
The 2 people in my family that I'm thinking of, you could not have had a rational conversation with them about working on their sleep and their diet and making sure they're going to the therapist. Like, they were literally headed towards spiraling out of control and having to be brought to a mental hospital. And both of them actually were brought to a mental hospital.
And everyone's different. Everybody's different. Even if you're raised in the same, that's what I've learned. Just being in a household of being raised by the same family, everybody kind of handles things differently, and everyone's got different body chemistry too.
Yeah, I think it's a newer conversation, and if you're a little bit older, that pills and things like that. I saw it. We had a case in my family, and it was pills is what they did. If they were on their medication, they were great. If they weren't, then they were all kind of, And I think now people have kind of reframed the conversation about pills, and they'd said, hey, let's do a deeper dive on that. And hopefully younger people will say, maybe there are ways that I can try to resolve some of these problems before I get to the pills.
Yeah,
an older person is like, that's just what they knew. They would always give you pills.
When I first went to therapy, I was there for 20 minutes and they were already prescribing me pills. And I had not done what you're talking, meditating, nature, stopped alcohol. There was a lot of things I did not do to try to stop caffeine. Like all of that stuff.
And that's a willing participant. And I think what Virginia said, that's tough when you have that person that doesn't have that willingness. And I was talking about if it were me, I felt like, they were like, you need pills. I'd be like, well, what else can I do first?
Sure.
And you're not, again, you are not
but Virginia, you don't know,
crazy, though.
No offense, but you don't know my whole entire life.
No, I'm talking about like a serious spiraling. Like, I've known you for a good bit, and you keep it together mentally. You have a good head on your shoulders. You have quirks, and
what do you mean? I think
you're eating a hairbrush, but I'm talking about people that are just about to lose it all.
I know what you're talking about, and I agree with you. I really do. My point is...
I thank God for medication, because those people would not be alive if it wasn't for medication.
And someone said in the chat room, everyone's different. There's really not an easy fix to the whole mental thing. I 110% agree with that.
Here's the really fucked up thing that happens. You can put somebody, like my 2 people I'm thinking of, you can put them on a cocktail of medication. You can get them on regular therapy visits, psychology visits, all of this stuff, regular blood work, doctor's visits, and then your body chemistry changes, and you have to change the cocktail of medication. They'll start getting crazy again, and then you have to go in there and you have to try stuff out, and some stuff doesn't work. Some stuff makes them crazier.
Oh, they put me on lithium one time for something for panic disorder. It turned me into a fucking weirdo, man. Talk about being numb and just not really knowing what was going. Wrong medication. I haven't been on any of that stuff in 20 plus years. I just found it interesting that they were so eager to give me pills to fix my problems.
Right.
Yeah, and I do know that they say that pretty much, I've talked to people that are older than I am, and they say that about every 10 years, your body radically changes. I think my mom was saying that you get to a certain age where then it starts changing every 5 years.
It goes faster?
Yeah.
I can see that.
You gotta kind of relearn your body. And I know that, here I am in my mid to late 40s, and yeah, it's been different. Changing diet, the way you feel, certain things you do. We talk about hangovers and things like that, but I've noticed, to me, my diet had to get better, and I always thought I ate great, and I realized that I didn't eat great, but
You never felt bad before.
Yeah.
But now, when you eat just slightly bad,
Yeah.
it affects your body
I feel
so
everything
much.
I eat.
Me too.
Yeah.
What the
do
fuck
too.
is that
Everything.
about?
I totally feel everything I
Why
eat now.
is that happening? Can I get my 20s back where I could just eat a whole thing of nachos and chicken wings and pizza and pass out drunk and wake up the next morning and be fine?
You say the body change. I feel it every 6 years. There's a little change in my chemistry, in my body.
It does.
It's not fair.
And it's usually just as soon as I figure it out,
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I'm in a good groove. So, and it's like, wait, what's going on? It doesn't work
Stop
anymore.
this train.
Yeah. This is kind of interesting, too. There's a new study out that found that spoilers can actually improve a movie's performance at the box office. Sometimes they actually like that, and people will go see it if they know what the odd twist is. But here was the catch on it. It's mostly for lesser-known, mediocre films and not as much for the heavily marketed blockbusters or highly rated movies. So for some reason, if there's a spoiler on maybe a movie you don't know, you may be like, that sounds interesting. Maybe I'll check that out.
Okay,
Think
I
about
see that.
The Sixth Sense. If you didn't see it, you heard this whole twist that's going on. Even if you heard the twist, you wanted to go see what all the hype was. It builds hype.
Yeah, so for a certain type of movie, that actually works. So it's kind of interesting because they say that maybe some movie places now are going to start revealing almost, oh, hey, oops. But if they do it in a clever way, people be like, oh, because you could easily do a dummy account and sneak out the spoiler.
Totally.
And like, now people will pay attention to this movie. We do a crazy twist ending at it.
I remember that one bit we were going to do. I think I tried it once and it didn't work, but you go to a movie theater where there's a big, there's a big twist ending or something, or even if it's a
You're
Harry
anticipating it.
You're anticipating something, and then
Yeah.
you act like you walk out of the movie. Now, it's not really the twist ending, but you go, oh my gosh, I cannot believe Harry Potter died. And everyone's like, what? Harry Potter died? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And you record their actions. And then you record them beating your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a bullhorn.
Yes.
You get in front of the theater.
Oh, I can't believe Harry Potter died.
Yeah.
Yoda killed him.
Uh-huh. That would be a lot of fun.
I don't think we could do that in the days of Corones.
Well, there's no theaters that are going on right now, and it's really kind of crazy. And I saw like an odd stat, but, they've been trying to get that latest Bond movie out, and I didn't realize there was something I saw. The guy who's playing Bond right now, his name escapes me.
Daniel Craig?
Yeah. I think he started playing Bond movies almost like 20 years ago.
And I don't think he likes it. You can tell in
Yeah.
interviews this son of a
He
bitch
keeps
is
being
over
like,
it.
I'm not coming back. And then they throw all this cash at him. He's like, all right, I'm coming back. Shit.
Dude, you got something that's landed. Be okay with it.
He's one of those, I have to have different challenges and projects. Fuck that. Cash that check, bitch. What are you doing?
That guy's got a lot of Bond money.
He's got a lot of balls. Because think about all the out-of-work actors who would give a finger to be able to have the role of James Bond, and he's just kind of guffawing it.
Do you find him hot?
Yeah.
He's not my favorite.
He's worth $160 million.
And 159 of it is Bond.
Bond's been very good to you.
Yeah.
It has, yeah.
You better be thankful and remember who brought you to the dance over there, Daniel.
He has been James Bond for 14 years now.
Is that the longest run?
I don't know that. I'll look that up here in a second. But the interesting thing about it, the stat that I'd seen, because they had to keep putting off the latest James Bond movie, No Time to Die, I think is the name of it. Donald Trump is going to be the only president, if things still hold with how the election's going, to not have a Bond movie come out during their presidency.
I mean, they're really pulling out some stats out of their ass. I mean,
Yeah.
how would you even get that stat?
I guess not hard. You'd be able to see how frequently they do Bond movies, and I guess they're just like, oh, wow, there was no Bond movie came out in the last 4 years.
How would you think of that stat is what I should say.
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought it was so random that that was there. He has done some other movies as well that he's been in. Road to Perdition. I didn't realize that he was part of that. I know he recently did that Knives. What was it? Forks, Knives, something like that.
Oh, yeah. I think that was considered a good movie, right?
Yeah, a lot of people seem to like that. He had a weird accent for some reason. I don't know why. He was Knives Out. That's what it was. 2019.
I gotta watch that. Yeah, people suggested for me to watch. I'm gonna put that on the list in my files.
Yeah, he was.
In your file.
Get in your files. He was in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and Logan Lucky. So there's a few others that he's done. But that's impressive. He's made that much money. And now they're trying to figure out who they're going to make as the new Bond.
You are going to like the new Mandalorian. I broke down and finally watched the two episodes.
It's good. So well done, isn't it?
It's so well done, and they took away all of that bullshit, stupid-looking CGI shit that they have in all of the newer Star Wars movies. Even in the prequels, they came back to the puppets. It looks like.
Oh yeah.
Just they look real.
They
Virginia.
did everything right.
They had Gamorrean guards in the first one. Virginia, Gamorrean guards.
Oh, I can't believe the guards are back. I feel safe when the guards are guarding.
Yeah, I can. When it's all over, I'm going to jump into it.
You're going to like it. They're really trying to please the people they did not please before.
I just don't get when they made the newer Star Wars movies why they didn't come out with that approach to say, what can we do just to make the fans just,
Not only did they not do that, they doubled down on their decisions. Like, you know what, old fans, we don't fucking care. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, we're going to take you on a ride you don't want to go on. It's almost like you got hijacked.
We're going to take you on a ride you don't want to go on. Then we're going to make you feel bad about complaining about the ride you didn't want to go on.
Yeah. No, glad they fixed it.
I'm done, Virginia.
Are you?
No, I'm not. Here's the thing.
He's still got more to say.
Have you seen all these movies that Daniel Craig has done?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Man's been working.
Yeah, he has, and I think that's why he had a little bit of defiance towards Bond, even though it's been very good to him.
He's like one of those guys that was in like King Arthur's Court and Elizabeth and all these British like fancy movies.
He's more than a quick gun and some bullets.
So he's like a respectable tool, and that's why he doesn't want to be like, I'm not going to be this Bond thing forever. I want to have depth and range.
Yeah, some of those actors that way do that. You had that with the original from Star Wars, Sir, whatever his name
Alec
was.
Guinness.
Alec Guinness, yeah.
Ben Kenobi.
He did, at the end, I think he was just like, why did I ever take that role? And it'd be interesting if he went back, if he would take it, because it really was odd that the fame and the mainstream Star Wars thing of that nature, he didn't, I don't think, really appreciated it.
I think he was a guy, and the Star Wars dorks will correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he believed in Star Wars, but I think he signed a deal where he gets 1 or 2% of everything
one of the first
that
deals
the franchise
ever.
makes.
So his grandkids are like living large.
My gosh.
I'm sure they have a house on Palm Beach.
That's so much money. Even 2% of what they make is so much money.
Yeah. And that's why you see those jackass kids when I take that walk, and I'm like, what do these people do to have this kind of money? Sir Alec Guinness was our grandpa.
Ben Kenobi's grandchild.
Yeah. I'm like, you're gonna lose all that money by the next 10 years. Watch.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's some interesting stuff. All right. Time for us to get going here on a Tuesday. Thanks for locking in. Just have a little bit of fun.
I felt like Virginia was just starting to cook.
Yeah, she's ready to go.
No, you shut me down with the Mandalorian.
Yeah. She's ready to punt. I can tell. She's like, get me out of here. Yeah.
I got to go to a meeting I don't want to go to.
Oh, yeah.
It's Zoom, but it's just...
You hate Zooms more than in person?
Yeah.
I hate them all.
Okay. I'd like to just watch that.
Me too. Yeah, I'm cool with a Zoom meeting that I can just watch Virginia in. I'm not in the actual meeting.
You're not in the meeting.
No.
You're just watching me suffer.
I'm there just to cause nothing but chaos.
All right, you guys enjoy your Tuesday. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.